Hello, everybody. The concept of this is supposed to. Oh. The concept of this was supposed to be like an open house, and ever since we organized it, I've been thinking about maybe we should have done it differently, but that's how we're doing it. So, without further ado, first thing I want to do is say thank you to everybody who participated in the surveys and the forums and all the different ways to get input, because we used all those things in the process of selecting our new superintendent, Dr. Fregeau. And also a big thank you to Judy Turney, who kept us on point, and to the two consultants from EGL, Dr. Hinson and Dr. Mary Hendricks Harris. They have been invaluable in this process. Basically, have been getting a lot of questions, and want to explain to people that we had 15 applicants for the position. We interviewed 4 and then did a second interview with 3. And the first interview was a little bit more formal. The second interview was really getting to know each other, and we asked each candidate to look at Fox information, Fox data regarding finances and achievement, and give us ideas of where they would start, what questions they would ask. So one of the things that came out of all those surveys was the character traits that everybody wanted in our next superintendent. And they aligned very well with the vision that the board had. And I'm going to share those once again. Those character traits were character, integrity, being student-centered, being open-minded, accessible, visible, and approachable, being a great communicator, a strong decision maker, having financial expertise, and being committed to Fox. And I do want to tell you that Dr. Fregeau will be moving into the district and being a resident of the community and living here with us. And our hope, he has all those traits. That's what the process, we discovered that he has every single one of those. And my hope is that he stays here at Fox till he retires, and I hope that's a good long time from now. Just a little bit regarding his experience. We wanted somebody that could hit the ground running, and so we had candidates that were all superintendents that we interviewed. He has 4 years as superintendent in Decatur, Illinois. He has 10 years as an assistant superintendent in North Kansas City, 3 years as a superintendent in Cleveland, Ohio, and a principal in Mountain Grove, Arkansas for 5 years, and a high school social studies teacher for 5 years. And I think that was Monroe City, do I have that right? Monroe City, Missouri. So basically, that's why we chose Dr. Fregeau. And I want him to have an opportunity to tell you a little bit more about himself, who he is, where he came from, and then when he's done, he's going to come and talk to you guys and answer any questions you may have. So welcome. They all said no. But we're very pleased.
Thank you for that kind introduction. I hope I can live up to all those traits. I'm so excited to be here. Very welcoming group. I really appreciate that. I was able to stop by central office and I already got some Fox swag with my face mask here, and I got my name tag. I'm pretty excited about that. Fox 4 family. That's how I want us to look at each other, and it was really nice when I went over to central office. They said we're a family, and that's my mindset. If you look at my communications in my career, it's everything is I send out to the family, and that's how I want you to feel, and that's how everybody needs to be treated. So I just thought that is a big point of emphasis for me. A little bit about myself. First of all, talk about being a son. It's pretty special for me. My mom that had me was 16 years old and she put me up for adoption. That's all I know about her. And I was fortunate to have my mom adopt me and raise me, and she's a very important part of my life. She's 84 years old. She's got COPD, and but she's still real spry. She's living on her own, and she's a very important lady in my life, obviously. My father, in the picture there, in black and white, he passed away when I was 18 years old in an accident at work, and that was very impactful on me because I was the oldest child, and for many, many years I was basically the main male adult in the family. I had a younger brother and a younger sister. My mom was on her own. That was a very impactful moment in my life. I was at Southern Illinois Carbondale as a freshman when he passed away, and it was very impactful. I'm also a husband. My wife, April, and I, great couple. I'm going to be very transparent. I was married for 28 years. After that, it didn't work out. We had to move on our different ways, and I was fortunate enough to meet April a couple years ago, and we are just enjoying each other's company. But I inherited 9 grandkids, so I'm learning all about that. So that's lots of fun, though. And then father, my 2 sons there, Brett and Brian. Brett just turned 31 Monday. I joked with the board when we had our informal conversation that both my kids are gainfully employed in jobs with benefits. So that's a win. I talked to him last night. He had a great birthday, and so that's a little bit about me, who's some people important family in my life, and wanted you to know that about me. President Hansen covered this a little bit. I've been at all levels of education. I've been a teacher. I taught in Quincy, Illinois. I taught my first year teaching, I taught 168 7th graders world geography, and I had a blast. And so but I've also taught in Monroe City, as she mentioned. I've been a principal at a high school in southern Missouri. Mountain Grove's halfway between Springfield and West Plains, if you're familiar with that area. Then I was fortunate enough to get a superintendency in Cleveland, Missouri, at a place called Cass Midway. Really good learning experience for me because it's a K-12 district, 600 kids all under one roof. So for me, as I told the board, it was a great professional growth opportunity for me because when you're a superintendent in a district that size, you take care of everything. You do all the budgets, you do all the transportation, you do all the food service. So you're over all the curriculum and instruction, you're over facilities. So it was a great learning experience because I learned all aspects of running a school district. After a few years there, I had a really good reputation in the Kansas City area, and I was able to get a job in North Kansas City. It's a district of about 19,000 students, 4 high schools. If you're familiar with the high schools, it's Staley, Oak Park, North Kansas City, and Winnetonka. Served there for 10 years, and then I got the itch to lead a district again. Had the opportunity where I currently am, Decatur, Illinois. It's a district of about 8,700 kids. 78 to 80% of our kids are on free and reduced lunch. We're doing great things. We've increased the graduation rate. We got dual credit programs put in. We have an ag academy started. We've also addressed school boundaries there. Talk about tough decisions that hadn't been done in 15 years. And we also consolidated buildings there because we had 22 buildings for 8,700 kids. The district used to have 25,000 kids. The community used to have 110,000 people. They're down to 75,000. So they were very resistant to change for many years, and we were able to convince the community this is the best thing for the district moving forward. They didn't have air conditioning in the buildings. I'm proud to say this fall they'll never have to call school again for the heat. Every building will have air conditioning in it, and the kids will get to stay in school in person this fall. So we just started Monday in person for the first time in a year. So but we've had a great time. The things I kind of value on my leadership style is approachability. I want you to feel like you can talk to me at any time. Okay, I told the group over at central office, I hope I don't have to wear a suit every day. I'm not a suit guy. I'd much rather be in more comfortable clothing. I like logo gear, things like that. I think that's important. Visibility. I met a young lady in the office. She said, "Is there anything I can do for you between now and when you get here?" And I said, "There's one thing I'd like you to do is block one morning and one afternoon every week says building visits. I will be in, I said, and that's a non-negotiable. I learned that at North Kansas City. When I was at Cass Midway with 500 kids, I could walk out of my office, make a left, and see everybody. And when I got to North Kansas City with such a large district, I didn't block that building visit time, and I rarely got to see kids my first year. And I learned I have to block that first. And I've carried that through since then, and it's served me well. It's very important that you guys get to see me out in the buildings, and I get to see our kids and our staff working with them, and get a kind of a temperature for how things are going. So that's one promise I can make to you. And then integrity. It's so important. You might not always agree with me. You might not always like the decisions I make, but please know I'm making decisions with the best intentions and for the best idea or to support kids. And I'm very proud to say I don't care who you talk to, wherever I've been, I'm a person of integrity and a man of my word. And that's very important to me. In the end, how am I acting when nobody else is around is so important. I will never do anything to embarrass this district. You'll be proud to have me associated when I go out in the community and talk to people. You'll be proud that I'm representing you as Fox School District, as the Fox family. And that's a pledge to you. And that's true. You can talk to anybody wherever I've been. That's how it's going to be. I also think it's real important that we have a strong connection. I've already found out about Rotary, but there needs to be a strong connection between the school and community. We need to get, and I know we're already doing it, but we need to do it, keep doing it and do it more. Get our kids out in the community, showing them what great things our kids are doing. I don't care if they're pre-K kids all the way through our high schools. Let's get them out there so they can see how great we're doing. I want to be out in the community. It can't be a system where the only time I'm talking to groups or meeting with them is when we're asking them for something. We have to be there to support them as well. We are a vital part of this area, this community, and they need to know we're there to support them as well. We can't just always go with our hand out. So you'll see, if you know of group meetings, I've talked to breakfast clubs, evening club. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I've met with groups at all times of day, all days of the week. I'm happy to talk to them, introduce myself at first, and then talk to them about what programming and what things are going on in the Fox School District. As I said before, we're going to do what's best for kids. Whatever they're doing, we're going to make sure they have the quality experience here in the district, so when they leave here, they can be confident people with to meet their purpose and our promise to they will have their purpose. And that's interesting. That caught my eye, and I didn't tell the board this. When we were putting our strategic plan together in Decatur, we had 35 community members, internal and external stakeholders. We had students on the committee, and we met for 4 days, 8 hours a day, in a meeting room, coming together with a strategic plan. We were stuck after 2.5 days, and the facilitators brought up the two young ladies that were part of the two students. And they said, "What do you want out of the school district?" And she got up here and she goes, "All I want is that when I leave here, I have a sense of purpose and sense of pride." And so when I saw that purpose here, that really resonated with me, because that's what kids want. They want to have a purpose in life when they leave here. We're all in this together. I can't do this by myself. None of you can do any of the work by ourselves. We have to be a team. We have to be a family. I can't do anything by myself. We have to be together, and we can achieve whatever we want. The aspirational visions you have for this district, we can get there if we all work together. We all got to be rowing in the same direction. We all got to be pulling the rope in the same direction, and we can make it happen. So that's probably the most you'll ever hear me talk. But thanks for listening, and that's Paul Fregeau in a nutshell. And so, again, thanks for being here. You have questions? All right, yeah. Anybody have questions? No? No, no, no? Okay. This is like that pause in the classroom, right? Well, how long do I wait before I go on to the next topic? This is a shameless plug for myself. Those of you that are at schools, I'm a huge believer in logo wear. I love to wear stuff that advertises our schools around the district. So if you know of a source of that or where I can get that, I'd appreciate it. I already got a backpack. I got a face mask, but I want to wear our stuff in the community. So when they see me, they know I'm associated with the school district, and then eventually they'll learn I'm the superintendent. And that's part of being that approachable piece and the visible piece. So just a quick shameless plug for logo gear. Okay? Jim, you gonna say something?
Well, I really didn't plan to say anything other than I really am pleased with our selection for superintendent. I think one of the things I noticed about him mostly in our interview, that he's humble. And, you know, being humble I think is pretty important in this business because, number one, it's very awesome. It's an awesome business, and it can be overwhelming sometimes. And when you're in a position like he's in as superintendent, you know, you can be kind of intimidating, you know. And so being humble is really important, and I appreciated that more than anything else. The other thing that I appreciated as much as anything was his experience. I'm very familiar with North Kansas City. You know, anybody that's done sports, you know, we go to Kansas City many times, especially with wrestling. I spent time in Winnetaka High School, many hours in Winnetaka High School in that community. And I noticed that that community is very much like ours. It's really, it's got the same feel to it. And I thought that's a good match, and I think he'll feel very comfortable in this community. I know we're going to get him involved in as many things as we possibly can. I'm sure we'll be getting you in the Rotary very quickly, and we're just excited about it. And I believe that you folks will appreciate the same qualities in him that I appreciated. And so with that being said, does anybody have anything that they would like, or just visit with them? Okay. All right, go ahead.
Just go around and talk.
Come around and talk to people. You can introduce
Good.
yourself to us.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut the live stream.